Chapter 136, Eastern Empire. The Eastern Empire, one of the oldest countries. Its official name is Sovereign Alliance of the Nazca Namrium Olmeria Empires. People say that it has been 2,000 years since the records first speak of nations managed by San Nue. Managed under its overwhelming strength, and for 2,000 years San Nue did not allow a single rebellion to go unpunished. Under its sole emperor Ludora Nam Ul Nazca, who ruled with an iron fist. And thus the empire eventually came to be called Simple Eastern Empire. Eastern Empire is a homogeneous state. They rule through power, conquer and pillage, complete battle maniacs. Their only creed, power is everything, allows anyone to achieve greatness as long as they are powerful. There's only one reason why this empire has yet to invade the Jura Forest. They are in the middle of preparations. 350 years ago, they attempted to subjugate Veldora and lost a city because of it. A whimsical dragon destroyed it before they could, as much as regret. Around 100,000 lives were lost that day, and that was a city fortified to be the gateway for invading the forest. They have built it up over 100 years. Build up for your forces, conquer that forest, and expand our dominion. That was the Empire's burning wish since then. Expand beyond the Jura Forest. Their failures pained them for 100 years. But why would a country as bountiful as the Empire need to expand? Only because the emperor wanted it to be so. That was the only reason, but no one complained. And as the invasion plan progressed, the empire built up its forces and weapons, and hundreds of years ago, they announced its invasion plan. Who would have thought that a single foolish idea that commanders had would cause that plan to crumble? The forest needs a master. Those lizards are no threat to us. This foolish thought led them to their doom. They hardly know what already happened. The books, the record keepers, and anyone who knew was reduced to ash. Their dreams, their ambitions were reduced to ash, and time passed. The empire continued with an additional creed: never invade Jura Forest. Veldora's anger left its scars. His power revealed how wide the world really is. The empire could never as much consider an invasion. There were those who resented Veldora, but not one of them would disobey a superior, each of whom forbid an invasion. As such, voices of young warhawks never reached the upper echelons. As such, the army solidified even further, regaining control superior to before the invasion. They could not allow the second invasion to fail. For them, this was an opportunity to prove their loyalty to their empire. And 2 years prior, they received those news. Storm Dragon Veldora disappeared. The empire rejoiced. The time has come. Drums of war beat now, even in the hearts of the commanders. These were not brash youth. They were hardened soldiers, so the fires in their chests burned all the brighter. Moreover, they could hardly allow their emperor to wait any longer, and the emperor blessed them with a single word: prepare. The empire was ablaze in activity. The empire, you see, has a political and military branches. Both are managed directly by the emperor. No one else has any real power there. There are nobles, but their only boon is a fancy name and ability to enter the parliament without an election. Perhaps some of them do own and manage property, but such would be a rare and special person. In other words, the emperor has absolute power. This feudalistic state listens to the wishes not of the people, but of the emperor. Every soldier pledged his loyalty to the emperor. Even imperial guard is but a position that is rotated between various troops. Can you believe it? A single person is managing every aspect of such a large nation. But regardless of how bizarre it may seem, the truth is thus: the empire has enjoyed many years of prosperity, and the emperor gave his orders. Surely, everyone was elated to hear them, but no one rushed. They meticulously carried his orders out, and soon the preparations were complete. A single carriage was heading towards the capital. Inside, among the baggage, an armless man lay and 2 women sat. The carriage was driven by a knight clad in black. Yuki's entourage. By the way, shouldn't we restore your arm? Kagali asked Yuki the most obvious question in the world. A loss of body part, albeit significant, could be treated with a high-level potion. Even Kagali's magic could restore that kind of wound. There's hardly a reason to remain armless. At least, no reason Kagali could think of. It's fine, no problem. They say the blacksmiths are awesome in the empire, so I was thinking of getting myself a metal arm. Huh? I tell you there. The hell you dare to say after losing to that bastard Leon? What? I'll surely win, you said. Instead, you suffered a terrible defeat, and we barely escaped with our lives. Ahaha, for you to be that angry, he was stronger than I thought, so what could I have done about him? Besides, it's not a loss if you live to see the morn. Sneaker. I got an ultimate skill and stole the power of a chaos dragon. Also took that Red Knight's teleportation power. So what's the big deal? Yuki casually responded to Kagali's grumbling. He's totally not reflecting, realizing that Kagali decided to give up. The fact is, Yuki suffered a crushing defeat before Leon. His trump card was useless, and the abilities he gained were not worth the loss. Luckily, when the Chaos Dragon's power was taken, it disrupted the magnetic field in the atmosphere, allowing Yuki and the rest to escape by teleporting away. Even so, Kagali could not bear to see Yuki remain as he was. So, Yuki-sama, are you sure you would not like me to lend you a hand? Leon was far stronger than I remember him. As such, I must take responsibility for my mistake. But I must ask, why did you hold back against him? When Kagali finished the sentence, Chloe opened her eyes and glanced at Yuki. For but a moment, Chloe was able to see into Yuki's actual strength. Since it was but a moment, Chloe was unable to measure his actual strength and could only curse her inadequate analysis abilities. And even so, it was clear that he had another ultimate skill, and this was not something Chloe could ignore. Ahahaha. What did you expect? I can't go around parading my power in front of Chloe. Well, fight eventually, and although she may suck at analyzing, she could always just let Demon Lord Rimuru know who clearly excels at it. I mean, I have to keep at least one hand in check, right? Oh, I see. Just a beaten dog making excuses, huh? Hey, that's mean, Kagali, always hiding his true intentions under the guise of a clown. But this time, he may have spoken his mind, so thought Chloe. He truly is an enigma. Kagurazaka Yuki. His words are fraught with lies and deceit, like that time with the kids. Oh, did you not know? When a child's body is on the verge of collapse, the energy it releases is just right for another summoning. In other words, you can just try redo the summoning. Without a question, that was a lie. Yuki, the summoner, such is one of his unique skills, has no need for that energy. He can continue summoning as long as he wants. Well, considering the necessary requirements, he would have to wait a month, but still, there's no need to recycle the kids. From the time Chloe observed him, she has noted how bizarre he really was. He hopes for the world to crumble, but handled his guild duties admirably. He said he was exploiting the kids, but he built them a nice school. He doesn't hesitate to do evil, and would probably go all the way without any hesitation. Even when opposing the demon lords, he casually used hostages and stole Cloud's heart. Even so, if he truly desires to destroy this world, his method is haphazard at best. Moreover, hey, why didn't you take that Red Knight's life? If you wanted to, you could have taken the energy of her soul, right? Without breaking her gaze, Chloe asked Yuki, huh? What do you mean? I took everything. If any was left, that would be because I can't use the skill very well yet. Damn, I guess I should have pulled more. Yuki replied, laughing cheerfully. Chloe concluded that getting a straight answer out of him was impossible. If so, she could do not but continue observing him. An enigma, Kagurasaka Yuki. If he truly desired to destroy the world, then he was, without a doubt, Chloe's enemy. For that reason, she would continue to watch him. Rimuru, Leon, Ruminas, Hinata, and the kids. She had many people she cared about. If Yuki sought to destroy their world, she would mercilessly slaughter him. But what if he sought something else? Before she finished thinking, the city they would stay in came into view, the capital of the world's strongest military state, Nazca. Chloe again closed her eyes. There was a lot to consider, and Chloe was bad at thinking things through. She would observe first and think later, about Yuki and about his goals. In the end, Chloe could only observe. Empire's military was split into three divisions. The Armored Corps, a marvel of technology by Imperial engineers. They ride modern tanks and symbolize the Empire's technological prowess. The Beast Corps, from the four corners of the world, the Empire brought beasts of wonderful strength and forced them to obey. They symbolize the Empire's strength. And the Mixed Corps, a group of engineer rejects and beast exiles. These members are too powerful and too smart to work as a single organization. If their power was combined, they would become the most potent threat. They represent the Empire's heart, young as it may be. Their armies are not something one could achieve without other worlds' influence. Other worlds' technologies and skills are interwoven to create an army of never-before-seen prowess. The Empire did not just collect beasts from the four corners of this world. People with various skills and knowledge, the Empire welcomed world travelers with open arms, and most of them by far reside there, which is why their influence changed the Empire so. Of course, there being many in the Empire who possess a unique skill, this too have been assembled into an army. The empire has grown too strong, and behind the scenes, another army is protecting the empire. But calling it an army is too much. It is at most a unit, but its strength is far beyond that of the three armies. In other words, they are powerful enough to be called an army despite being a single unit. The empire is founded upon the maxim that strength is everything. There are two beings of absolute power who have authority over the rest. The emperor himself, the generalissimo, is one. The other is the de facto commander over the armed forces, the being whom the emperor himself trusts. That being also has the duty to protect the emperor with the guardsmen. That being is so powerful, he is said to surpass the demon lords and has ensured the empire's safety for hundreds of years. Next, there are three generals. These three command each of the three armies. These four men are the pillars of the empire. Each has been given the empire's treasured god-tiered equipment. Equipment of unbelievable power, the strongest equipment before which no man can be an equal. And then the guardsmen. 100 individuals of great power join the guard. Their strength is legendary. Of course, many of them are from another world. The empire does not discriminate against world travelers and recognizes only strength. To these 100, the emperor bestowed legendary equipment. These 100 are the empire's strongest force. But how are the 100 selected? Through inter-army duel and combat, a system where the young may usurp the seat of the elder. Though forbidden during marches, any member of the army could challenge a superior to a duel. If they were defeated, they would have to wait a year before they were permitted to challenge him again. As such, everyone continuously sharpened their skills. Such was the best system for a country where strength was everything. In place of a captain, guardsmen would serve. As a result, if you wanted to rise in status, you would wait for an opportunity to defeat them. And a general was replaced for the first time in many decades. A single lad had made history. This lad reached the pinnacle of the empire. With a metal arm, Kagurazaka Yuki became a general of the mixed army in the shortest time, a warrior of legends. In the blink of an eye, he built up support for himself and thought and though there were already some who supported him from the beginning, no one seemed to mind. And now, the mixed army consolidated under a single will. The legend will go down to say that the empire's invasion began on the day Yuki gained power. End of the Demon Lord's Gambit arc. End of chapter 136.